So guys, you could order food, you could find a date, and you could replace a relationship all at the same time while taking a shit. If you're new here, my name is Mitchell. I'm a relationship coach, and in today's live video, I will be talking about why do relationships feel so hard 2026. So let's talk about the first thing, which is casual hookups. Why casual hookups feels a lot more safer than actually being committed, but also it leaves people feeling a little bit more empty. So now in modern dating, where casual relationships are, it's not really focusing on freedom. Hi Tracy, how you doing? Happy New Year's. So casual relationships, it's not so much about freedom nowadays. It's more in a sense of how much risk is involved, right? It's about risk management. So commitment now seems like this whole idea of like, oh, if I go in here, there's a lot of emotional investment, or I might be prone to be this type of emotional endangered, or not endangered, like just being in danger of being in this committed relationship. I'm emotionally involved, where there's rejection, there's betrayal, there's this idea of loss of time and this loss of identity. What most people don't really think about is while being in a relationship, even though it doesn't work out, you learn, or you get to learn to become better while being in a relationship. You don't, it's just like reading books on going to the gym or how to work out. Like eventually you still got to put in the time, the effort, and understand how it feels like to be at the gym or lifting weights, things like that. So back to relationships. Now, casual hookups, it takes away this whole idea of risk by lowering a lot of this emotional investment. You have to understand that people need closeness. Like they need to be close. It's a need. People need to be close, but it has to be on their terms too. So they want a lot of intimacy. When I mean they, I'm talking about the people that just wants like casual hookups. Like what they really need is someone that they care about, that cares about the same things, share the same values, share the same goals. But a lot of people, they like intimacy, but they don't want a lot of obligations. They want a lot of sex, but they don't want to be emotionally exposed. And like I said, connection. They want connection, but they don't want to have this whole idea of accountability. And more often than not, there are more people that carries a lot of this unresolved wounds from past relationships, and they have this childhood trauma, or they have this dating burnout or online dating burnout. It's like, oh, nothing works. So instead of healing, they choose this detachment as a cope. And remember that more people would do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. And so with this whole hookup culture, this allows people to avoid a lot of self-reflection. Hello, how's everyone doing? So it allows people to avoid self-reflection. Now, if something fails in this relationship, all you have to say is, look, it's just casual, so no one has to take a lot of responsibility or accountability. Oh, we were just dating. It was not serious. So over time, this creates numbness, and the more casual connections someone has, the harder it becomes to bond deeply. So the more you have, the more you go out and just mess around, aka the fuck boys, or you know what they call the 304s nowadays, right? Whatever it is. And I'm not saying that those people don't exist. I'm just saying that if that's not what you're looking for, eventually you're going to find yourself in this hole, and it's going to be harder and harder to dig out of. Now, the whole idea of this is people crave love, but they fear a lot of vulnerability. So they settle for something that feels a lot easier, but ends up never feeling very fulfilled. Okay. Now, moving on to my next one, where it's just the paradox of choice. Infinite choices has destroyed the idea of satisfaction. Dating apps, online datings. It didn't just change how we meet people. It changed how we value people. when a lot of these potential partners becomes like this whole idea of I could replace you at any moment, this endless stream, people stop committing to decisions and start optimizing for this, oh, I could do better. I could replace you in a minute. I could do better. So what ends up happening is the brain treats dating app like shopping. You compare, you could discard it, and then eventually, oh, you know what? I'll make an upgrade. I'll just make this upgrade. Now, this rewires how your brain works. Okay, it rewires how your brain works. And people now expect instant chemistry, and it needs to be a consistent thing. It has to be constant excitement. That's just not how it works. Too many people overvalue chemistry and they undervalue character. And minor flaws become this whole idea of, oh, you know what? You're not tolerable. I'm going to replace you, because the mind believes that replacement is immediate. Now, our parents met partners through, schools, churches, whatever, social circles, through other people, work, whatever it may be. Meaning they learn attraction over time. Now, are they great at it? Some are, some not, probably. Who knows? But and today attraction must be this whole idea of it has to be instant, or else it's not gonna work out. So this leads, like I said, people with this idea of paradox of choice. The more options we have, the less confident we feel in to make any specific choices. Because it's like, well, more options create less peace within us, because choosing one means giving up thousands. So I got to stay with this one person when I have this whole sea of people that wants me. It's just that type of concept. Now, how I see it is the grass is always greener on the other side. You just don't know if it's fertilized with shit. And I got to give that credit to, I forgot who said it. I think it was Alex Hormozy's mentor, someone that he was talking to before. Anyways, I thought that was brilliant. Grass is greener where you water it too. Okay, so number 3, validation replacing connection. Modern dating seems like it prioritizes being wanted over being known. You focus on likes, you focus on matches, type of DMs that you get, and attention creates this quick dopamine that feels like it's affection, but it's not intimate at all. It's not any type of intimacy. So there are people, especially women, that will just go on dating apps, turn it on, say they're available. They get a few likes, they get a few matches, and they completely take it out. They will ghost them, they'll leave, whatever it may be. They'll just do that. Because why? They could feel good about themselves. So it's more of a validation seeking. People confuse chemistry with compatibility and character. Now, this whole idea of dating becomes performance based. How? It's like, well, how do I look? How do I come across? And how am I impressive enough? Do I look good enough? Instead of, can I be real over here? Can I talk to you and be me? Now, a lot of people are, they fear opening up because they fear of being judged. And I get it. And so what ends up happening is most people, what they do, they end up ghosting and disappearing. And this becomes normalized. And the same goes for cheating too as well. A lot of people, they cheat. They think ghosting, disappearing, like all that is weak behavior. Now, because online connections don't require a lot of courage or accountability. All you have to do is stay behind the camera or stay behind your keyboard and just talk a lot of shit. That's all people do. They will never really do that in person. They wouldn't do that. And so this whole idea of ghosting, disappearing, cheating, it becomes normalized. Now, in previous generations, your dating behavior, it really affected your reputation. Now, today, most of the time, unless you get viral on TikTok or whatever, today you can treat people poorly and never really face a lot of consequences. So the idea of this is people feel constantly evaluated but never really understood. What's up, Bree? So we expect relationships to feel good, not to be built. One of the biggest difference between back then and current modern dating is expectations. The past generations viewed relationships as something that you work through, that you put in a lot of time, effort, see if you could talk it out, not just instantly walk away from it. Now, today, discomfort usually gets mistaken by incompatibility. And conflicts is seen more as a failure instead of like this whole idea of growth. And what I found that is people who have similar goals and similar values has one of the most loving types of relationships. The best type of relationships are the one that has similar goals and similar values. And so social media promotes this highlight reel of love. Everything becomes effortless, it's passionate, everything always works out. They never argue. Everything's always aligned, which is not real, right? Giving a lot of people this sense of like FOMO. A lot of people fear FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. And how you don't have what I have in this relationship. And anybody that is in a relationship that never has a hard time is lying to you. So it's like, what do you want to believe in? Learning how to communicate your needs, regulate emotions, set certain boundaries, setting and enforcing healthy boundaries, repairing after conflicts. Now, these are things that will make you a much better person getting into a relationship, or while you're in a relationship, you learn to take a step back and understand where they are coming from. Both parties need to take a step back and listen to each other. A lot of people, they don't listen. A lot of men, they don't like to listen, me included sometimes. And I get it, and I see that, and I'm doing my best. I still do my best. Now, without these skills, relationship feels exhausting consistently and constantly. It's just gonna feel exhausting all the time. And now relationships feel harder now because we expect them to be easy. And like I said, it's this whole idea of, well, how come everybody else is so happy? It's like they never seem to have an argument. And funny enough, the people that always shares their relationship are the ones that are in miserable relationships. Believe it or not, these are the type of people that have the worst times in relationships. It's because they constantly need to validate themselves. So why people in here, okay? Bree, I know you in here. And maybe this other guy that's talking a lot of nonsense. But why do you feel nowadays that relationship feels so difficult? What is one thing that you guys are going through in dating that makes relationship difficult? And to me, it's before getting into a relationship, I really feel like you gotta be in a happy place yourself. I'm not saying that you have to be consistently happy every single day. What I am saying is you try to figure out certain areas of your life that is making you or giving you this opportunity to be happy. So if you're at, let's just say you go to your job, you hate what you do, but you still go there anyways, and you're reluctant to find a new job. That's still on you, right? Life sucks, but it's still on you. My challenge is my boyfriend's parents. They disagree at us dating because of our age difference. And this, Tracy, this is what I would actually say. When you're in a relationship, you got to back up the person that you're with. So what ended up happening was, when my girl, first saw my mom, she was like, you know what, I don't really like her. She doesn't say anything. And I'm like, Mom, she was just really shy. I get it. She was like, don't date her. And I was like, Mom, I'm gonna date who I want to date. It's not up for you to decide. I understand that you might not like her right away, but maybe she was having a hard day, right? You didn't give her a chance yet. But I get it. It's very, especially in Asian culture, you don't say hi. Ooh, right? So I guess she said hi, but she didn't. I don't know. I forget. She just didn't do something, right? And I was like, look, Mom, like, it doesn't matter. and at the end of the day, I backed her up. I had her back. Why? Because if I want my relationship to work, anybody else has to stay out of it. And which is why, like I said, I don't. Yeah, different. Yeah. And so, which is why I was like, look, not a lot of people know about my personal business. They don't need to know. I share little clips here and there, but I never really post it up. I never spread it. And the reason why the reason why is because the less that people know, the better it is for us. So it's more of a protection, because we don't know what other people's motives are. We don't know if they're trying to sabotage it. And there's always someone that's gonna be a hater out there that's going to want something that you have, and if they can't have it, they will rather destroy it. Yeah. And it's so, well, there's a difference too. It's like, well, if anybody were to ask me, like, oh, are you in a relationship? I'd be like, yes, I am. Absolutely. I would never hide. It's not a secret. But what I would limit or hold back is this whole idea of, I don't need you guys to see what is going on in my business. Well, yeah, it can be kind of difficult sometimes to date with an Asian family on either side. Double if it's on both sides. It is. And it's like, look, the most important thing is to back up your partner. You always back them up, no matter what. Even if it's something that you don't totally agree with, you're not giving other people opportunities to put their 2 cents into your relationship. Now, I'm not saying that don't take any advice from other people, but you have to also judge other people from their relationships. Do they have a good relationship? Are they single? Do they end up becoming single? Because everyone will always share their personal interests or what they believe in. But I've gotten advice from some people that have the worst fucking relationships. I'm like, you're the last person I'm going to try to listen to. But because I'm cool with you and I don't want to be rude, I'll listen to you. In one ear, out the other, basically, right? Now I understand on my boyfriend's end what you just said. And it's like this too, Tracy. Don't try to force him to back you up. It should be more of an encouragement. Okay? Be more encouraging. It's like, I really love it whenever your parents say something about our age difference or whatever, that you stand your ground. Because I don't know, you could twist it up a little bit. It's very sexy, it's very nice, it's very hot, whatever it is. It's like you get more from encouragement than you do like, hey, you should do this, right? And so that's the whole idea. And then see if he can understand that. And look, sometimes I told my girl too, right? There's certain things that makes me upset. So an example is, I was raised a little different. I was raised to be, to think on your feet, to act quick. And so sometimes when little things happen and I'm like, why did you do that? In my head, I'm like, why would you do? And like, I'm getting upset because I'm like, you didn't think to do this instead, but instead you just stood there and did nothing. It's like, here's an example. I was breaking down boxes. I was moving things. I had a lot to move into the room, and all the boxes was just kind of out here, right? It was just out. And now, I'm moving the boxes out, so the boxes started piling up, and it started to pile up so much that it got in my way. And I'm just like, she's just sitting there in the couch, and now I'm like, all right. It was frustrating. I'm like not normal person, but I would have instantly got up. So I was upset, but I wasn't like, I didn't yell, I didn't scream, I didn't say anything. I was like, Mitchell, you need to understand that you two are two different people. You can't expect what you normally do onto the other person because it's unfair to them. And so for me to get upset, it was more like, well, what am I more upset because I made a wrong choice? I'm like, is this a deal breaker? No, it's not. It's just boxes being piled up. And so I was like, man, all right. Let me just hold back my tongue a little bit. Let me just hold back my tongue because it's unfair. It's unfair. And if anything, I should talk afterwards. Not now, because I was heated at the time. I was like, why would you just sit here in this couch while I'm doing all the work? Why? So it's like, all right, sometimes no matter what it is, even if you're a life coach, even if you're a relationship coach, it doesn't mean that you don't get upset and you don't get mad. But it's like you do your best to work around it. Is the main question is from that point is that a deal breaker? And no, it's not. A couple boxes piling up, you didn't really do much. It's like, is it irritating? Yes, a little bit, because it's not how I was raised, but people are raised differently. So like I said, similar goals, similar values, and that's very important. So let me go over the topics that I talked about, which is casual hookups feels a lot safer than commitment, but also leaves a lot of people emptier. And the key idea of that is people crave love and attention, but fear vulnerability. So they end up settling for something that feels a lot easier, but end up never really feeling fulfilled. Yeah, you got to pick your battles. Now, infinite choices, or this paradox of choice, has destroyed this idea of satisfaction. So dating apps, it didn't change how we just meet people, it changed how we value people. And so more options, it creates less peace, because choosing one means giving up thousands or millions or whatever, right? It's like, remember this, the grass is always greener on the other side. You just don't know if it's fertilized with shit. Been there, done that. Validation replacing connection. So modern dating prioritizes likes, DMs, attention. A lot of people, they would rather get likes and attention and validation rather than intimacy. Something that's more slow. Think of a slow cook. A slow cook. You always get that nice peel off the bone, right? It's smooth, but yet people turn up the fire and question why the meat's all burnt. All right. So the key idea is people feel constantly evaluated and never really feeling understood. And lastly, we expect relationships to feel good, not to be built. And so relationship feels harder because we expect them to be easy. And so instead of replace your expectations with gratitude of what the great things that they possess. As long as they're not rude, mean, and nasty people towards you, and you have similar goals, similar values, and it doesn't go against your core values, and you're happy in that relationship, and you don't feel like, damn, I settled with this, then make it work. And if you don't want to be in that relationship anymore, you're constantly questioning yourself, then I will encourage you to really sit down and write down, like, what are the pros and cons, and what are the real reasons why you're thinking about taking a step back from the relationship, and really make a decision from there, instead of just blaming other people for not being where you want them to be. All right. And so anyways, guys, thank you for being here. I can't promise you I'll be here next week. I'll do my best. But I'm gonna have a little surprise if I am here next week. All right. So I try to keep y'all up to date. Bree, I appreciate you for letting me know that I set this into the AMs instead of the PMs, but eventually everything worked out. Tracy, thank you for always being here. Bree, thank you for always being here. And the other, I know, lame. And the other person, what were you even saying? Okay, let's see what he said. I didn't even know. Oh. Jimmy, you're polluting the air. Damn, that person is mean. I just read what he said. Anyways, all right. I'll see you. I'll see you guys next week or next week. We'll see. That person is me. He probably have a shitty day and he needs to take it out on somebody, and that's why he left. Which question? Wait, hold on. Oh, the one with dating Asians, families on either side, double if it's on the same side. Is that one? Bree, I'm pretty sure I read it. Let me double check. Okay, let me double check. All right, Jimmy, the rude guy. Let's see. Okay, I agree with you. Yeah. Okay, same both sides. Mine doesn't either. The standard tends to be higher. Keep looking. Maybe they filtered it out. Take a screenshot, send it to me. I don't know which one I'm missing because I read it. I read it all. Anyways, yeah, things are changing a little bit. Feels like it's for the better. I don't know. It's been a rough. I'm not feeling the best. A lot of people getting sick. My girl's sick. My mom's sick. And I'm just like crossing my fingers. I'm like, please don't get me sick. I don't want to get sick. And yesterday I felt like this little itch in my throat. Instantly, Tylenol. Popped it in. All right. Yeah, and the people here are they're in a different type of sick. So anyways, I'll talk to you next time. Thank you.